Hello, screenwriters, and welcome to Writing for Screens, the Screenwriting Step-by-Step Project, episode 227, session 227, which is a lot. My name is Glenn Gers, and I come to you every Monday through Friday, if I can make it, at 3 p.m. Pacific Time Zone, to let you look over my shoulder, share my screen as I write a script. I'm doing this in order to teach a part of screenwriting that I feel is kind of under-taught, which is the process, the day-to-day, page-by-page, scene-by-scene process of taking thoughts and ideas and characters and making them into a story, getting it into an outline where it's broken into scenes, turning those scenes into a rough draft, and then rewriting and polishing and reshaping that draft into a readable first draft. That process is all I know that everyone shares. Everyone has to somehow or other figure out how to get it into script form on the page that you can show to other people. Every writer has their own way. Every project is a little different. The only thing that I think is really necessary for a writer is to figure out how they can comfortably get to work and figure out ways to get the script written. Can't write a great script if you can't write the script. So that's all I'm trying to show you is some tricks and techniques and skills that might help you. If they help you, use them. If they don't. That's all right. It does not matter. There is no right or wrong way. All I am trying to show you is what I picked up teaching myself in a 25-year career as a writer for movies and television. And I figured on my way out of the business, I would leave behind the tricks and skills that I had to teach myself in case when you're facing the blank page, you can try them out, see if they help you. Your job is to figure out what works for you. Now, my other job, my main job, the things I really have to teach here are in this. The first 3 playlists on my channel. I urge you to check those out if you have not. This is where the good stuff is. These short videos, about 10 minutes, a lesson on a topic, genre, flashbacks, dramatic action, whatever I think I know about a topic that could be useful, I have tried to make into very, very simple lessons that you can use your way. So I urge you to look at those. That's the point. That's the gift that this channel is trying to give you. Now, hey, Ches, this is the first time you've been on time. That is true. Welcome. Hello, this is Kitschy. Hello, 99 Precinct. And hello, Joseph Quisenberry. It's first time for you too. And greetings. Glad to have you here. Hello, Nathan. It is good to have you after another Living on the Sun. It is indeed hot and humid here in Los Angeles, California. But, you know, it could be worse. So, I am doing my best to keep us cool with another terrible segue, with some writing. That's what we're here for, to get this script done so that we can move on to other lessons. And amazingly, we have been making really good progress here. I am really moving ahead. I'm going to hit some bumps in the end because the last 20 pages or so of this script are messy. But right now, I'm hitting the parts that are pretty solid. Indecision Television. Hello, we have not met. Recent Discoverer. Love everything so far. Thank you. Very, very glad to have you here. Join the crew. All of you should feel free to ask questions. That is one of the things that I am open to while I do this rewriting. I will just be puttering along getting these pages done, but if you guys have questions, feel free. Okay. So, all right, I'm just reading through what I got here. Thinking back, I guess that's useful. Hmm. I think I'm going to do better. I think I'm going to actually describe here what he's doing. Disastrous. Okay, apparently that's not a word, but disastrous. There we go. In defense of his theory that all relationships go bad is recounting his recent disasters. Okay, so let's see what's going on here. Kill Team Hungary. I'm preparing for a horror short. I'm trying to figure out your name. Does that mean Kill Team Hungary, or you are on Kill Team from Hungary? Hello, I am preparing for a horror short writing contest. Good, that's excellent. Write the script. It's Warhammer 40K setting, and your 6 essential questions set me up nicely. Great. I am so glad that's helping. Yes, if you're working on a short, get the script. The thing that you obviously have to know about a short is it's always hard when you're learning how to make things, or when you're making things DIY, or you're making things low budget. The thing that you have the most control over, and the thing that costs the least money, is planning. It's preparation. It's figuring out what you want to accomplish, so that when things go south and the truck doesn't show up, or it rains, or whatever it is, you know what every beat is about, and you can figure out how to accomplish that in your new circumstances. So preparing is good. Writing the script is good. That's what a script really is. A script is really that encapsulation of exactly what you need to make your story, which includes what the actors need to do and say, and also what the point of the story is. That's what a script really is. Hello, Torrential Zeal. All right. Good. When you think of a plot beat, how do you think of the actual action the character does? Like, do you just think of inspiration, etc., or do they just come out of nowhere? You mean like when I'm coming up with like your process, out of curiosity? That is a fair question. Essentially, what you're saying is, where does stuff come from? And the answer would be the same, whether it's a plot beat, a line of dialogue, an idea for a project. It's always going to come out of the same place, which is, we don't know. It's magic. It is mystery. The history of art, especially of writing, is the history of people saying, I do not know where this comes from. So there's all sorts of theories. The ancients theorized that there were these little creatures called muses, which came and actually kind of sang in your ear, and you just heard it and you wrote it down. The main thing is, you don't know where things come from, so all you can do is indeed create a process by which these things are more likely to happen. So the answer is, when I think of a plot beat or anything else, what I'm actually doing is, in the case of a plot beat, I am looking at what I have. I am looking at what I'm trying to do, and I'm saying, what's not here? Or what would be cool? Or what have I seen in something else that would be fun to twist? What are the expectations that I can play with or satisfy? I'm asking all those questions because that's my process for doing it. The actual process is actually there's a couple of pieces to this process. So one thing I would say is this video, Use What You Have, describes this process in great detail, and also a process of questions. Please look at those two videos. Hold on. The main thing about this is that what I do is I try to think of the story broken into scenes. I really feel like the key is, and I use the organization that I've described, where I have these 5 documents. They've sort of expanded here because this is a pilot, but I've got the text. I've got, skip that, because this only happens for when it's done, when you're trying to summarize the rest of it for other. The main thing is the outline, the notes, which is just where I write down when I'm not writing in the outline, when I'm just like trying to find someplace to write stuff down. I just write in notes, and then if it's important, I copy it out. And the overview is those documents. Really, these 3 documents are it. That's my process. My process is I go into those documents and I say, okay, in the outline, I've got a scene here and a scene here. I need one in between it because there's a missing step. Or I know that I need to come up with a big set piece, or I know that I need to come up with a big ending, or I need to introduce a character. Whatever it is, looking at the outline and knowing the expectations, because I've seen a million shows and movies, I say, well, what am I looking for? Oh, this is a race car story. I need races. I need to know the drivers. I need to know, the story. So I'm sort of creating holes, creating places. I'm like, I need a thing like this. And then, ideally, if I just keep asking questions about that, if I keep asking, okay, who is this about? What do they want? What part of the relationship am I in? Like in this scene here, the beat is I wanted to get them literally out on a date. That was the point of this scene, was I wanted to give them an extra beat where they could get closer, because that's the story I'm telling, is about how this couple falls in love. And one of the ways they do it is that at this moment, which they've been forced together, they take an extra step and they choose to be together. They choose to go out on a date. That's what this scene was about. So like to say, like, how did I come up with this beat? I said, these people have been stuck together. He broke in to save her life. They ended up sleeping together, literally sleeping. Then they ended up making love. Now they've woken up. At this point, they could split up. But I want a beat that shows that they don't want to split up, that they want to get to know each other. So they go on a date. So I hope that answers that, is the question, which was that I think anything that you need to think of, it does come out of nowhere, but it comes out of nowhere more often if you've created a place where you need to fill it with something from nowhere, if that makes sense. In other words, I know that lines of dialogue and funny behavior and suspenseful twists are going to come to me if I am saying, what's the line of dialogue that this person would say in this, because they have just gotten to this point. That's what I'm saying. It does come out of nowhere, but it doesn't come out of nowhere because you're not working. The process is that you take what you do have and you try to fill in what you don't, and you do that by asking questions. Okay, so naming a character in my novel after you in honor of all the work you've done. Okay, first name only. That's cool. I hope that they are an honorable person. Hello, Najo. Good to see you. Happy Labor Day. Writing a script is usually I do, but from today, whenever I'm I'll start writing fan fiction, the first thing I'll do is ask those 6 questions. Yay, good. Excellent, congratulations. 2 shorts already. Very, very good. This is an example for all of you, just like Natasha. Do stuff. Do stuff you can do. Write shorts, make shorts. Write scripts, submit scripts. Whatever you can do, that's what you should do. Side note, I ran my own YouTube channel for a while, but the work involved was unexpectedly huge. That is true, and too much for me. So you're writing it. Yes, that's actually true. I have not written and shot and edited a video in a while, but I am working on those scripts. I've got about 20 scripts, and I have been going through them one by one, because I really don't like to have any questions about the script when I get into the production end. I want the script to be something I trust, that I can say, I am going to want to say these words. They make sense in this order. So then all I can worry about is, like you said, setting up the cameras, recording it, making sure the sound happens, all that stuff, and then editing it. That is a lot of work. But as long as I am accomplishing the thing I set out to do, which is I honestly have a specific message I want to leave you aspiring writers. And the point of this channel is simply to put that message where you can get it at your leisure. I don't frankly want to be involved after a certain point. I want to give it to you, take it, do with it what you will. So that's what's going on. This time it's going to be sci-fi horror, found footage. Oh, cool. Excellent. Yes, you are welcome. You are welcome. Hello, Donna Nelson. Happy Labor Day to you, even though you are not in America. Hi, Flying Over Trout. Happy Labor Day to you. Thank you. I am so glad. I will take a look at that. Indecision television. Writing dialogue scares me. Where is a good place to start? I can put together very comedically tight situations, but I'm almost scared of ruining them. Okay, let's talk briefly. I was actually just, like I said, I'm working on a full video about dialogue. That will come in another couple months. But in the meantime, let me tell you some brief points about dialogue. The first thing about dialogue is, just like anything that scares you, if it scares you, do it in small doses over a extended period of time to get used to it, to get comfortable with it, to get to the point where you are not feeling conscious of it at all. It's like I've said, like if it's playing tennis or playing a musical instrument, you want to get to the point where the physical motion of doing it, the form of it, is so habitual that you don't worry about that, and you can just worry about whether or not that particular line makes particular sense in this particular place. That's an easier thing, and that's the thing where this other thing I was just talking about, the magic, happens, which is if you make a ritual place for doing it, and then you give yourself a specific problem, magically it comes from nowhere, and it does. It just comes. It will happen, but you have to do it enough, and you also have to watch enough and absorb enough and get comfortable enough with the ritual process to get to the point where you get confident it'll show up. I now know that if I sit down to write something, I will write something. Will it be great? Will it sell? Who knows? That is not within our control. But what is within our control is I have a blank page that needs dialogue. I have a scene that I need to have happen. I'll figure out ways for them to say it. And the other thing about writing dialogue is try different stuff. Figure out what you're good at. You may write a certain kind of dialogue that's very like ba 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 ba, or it might be like slow and plotting. Whatever it is, once you've gotten comfortable with that, you can try doing the opposite. Try studying different types of dialogue that you like, and like type it out. Like watch it, hit pause, type out every line in dialogue format to get comfortable with the idea that this is the thing. It's just pieces. It's just sentences. The sentences are replying to other sentences. And that's the other thing. Dialogue is action. Dialogue is coming from a particular person at a particular moment talking to another particular person. That only happens once. And in that one moment, they have something they're trying to do. So that's what you want to think about. What are they trying to do? Are they trying to scare the person? Are they trying to comfort the person? Are they trying to seduce the person? Whatever they are trying to do, try 50 different lines. Say, okay, they could say, oh, I love your hair. Or they could say, are you dating anyone? Or they could say, there's so many ways. Try them all, and then one will sort of cling, and you go, that's the one I want this person to say. So that's my advice on dialogue. The main thing is getting over the fear of it is separate from what makes good dialogue. Also, by the way, I'm all scared of ruining them. You're writing on a piece of paper. Just delete it. Make a copy, write another. You can't ruin it. You can't ruin the situations. At very worst, write a couple of drafts, make different ones. You haven't ruined anything. The situation is still there. You're fine. Don't worry about it. Just keep working. I'm almost finished with my second episode of a second TV pilot. That would be great. Although technically, let's remember, the pilot is the first episode. The series then goes on from there. And mostly, we don't write the second episode because we don't know if anyone wants it. And unless you are driven to write a thing because you feel like it's important to you, even if no one will make it, that you write it, then you should write the second episode. Otherwise, just write the pilot. Okay, so I notated a scene where I thought of it. Now I got to recapture it. Lesson, yes, absolutely. Always write it down. And happy Labor Day. Happy organized labor. Support organized labor if you can, please. Great. So glad that you're feeling inspired. That makes me happy. D3 entertainment. Cool. Long-term writer, mostly poetry. Oh, interesting. I know very little about poetry. I just do not have a brain for poetry. I don't read it that often or that well. I have a hard time often understanding it. It's weird. There's like everybody has their strengths and weaknesses. I am bad at poetry. I wrote in somewhat script format as a kid. Finished first novel. Great. This is good. Also, a lot of my tips are very transferable to fiction, to prose, and I seriously, do like to remind everyone that scripts are the least satisfying form of creative writing. Scripts bite. They're just terrible. If possible, don't write a script. Write a novel. Write a poem. Write anything, but don't write a script. I know this is a script channel. My point is, if you're going to write a script, try and write it well. I'll show you how. But most of these lessons would be equally valuable or useful when you're writing something that's not a script. Hey, Larry, glad you did. Happy Labor Day to you too. Oh, yeah, I know you know what you're doing. I just love doing it. Plus, used for audio dramas and scenes in rewrites. Very, very good. Good. Excellent. Okay. Here, this is the thing. Setting aside her silverware, while lovely and giving us a feeling of the scene, is extra words that I don't need now. Yeah, I'm so boring. God, I'm sorry. I'm so boring. Possessive, promiscuous, dishonest, kleptomaniac, hypochondriac, neo-fascist. God, I'm sorry. Sorry, I'm so boring. I don't think you can say last night was boring. Or this morning. Whoa. I'm sorry. this is not bad. I don't know. I'm not loving the I was just blathering. What am I doing? What are we doing? What are we doing? You're in mourning, and I'm making this all about me. No, that's what's wrong. This whole thing just feels wrong. You okay? I mean, are you in you okay? But let me see. I'm so boring. Compared to you. I'm so boring compared to them. I'm sorry, I'm so boring. I don't think you could say last night was boring. Or this morning. Okay? I mean, you're in mourning. This is crazy. You're in mourning. No, I'm not in shock. But George was long ago. George was over. Like that. It was intense. It was everything I ever wanted. So why did you? You're in mourning, legally. This is not bad. This is feeling more playable. That switch of Normans, that like flip of like, oh my God, what am I saying? It just didn't feel right. Okay, let me go back because there's lots of things been saying here. Okay, hello Jeremiah Simmons. How descriptive can you while writing action lines? I always feel, can you be while writing action lines? Interestingly, I have answered this in detail, including showing samples. Hold on, I will. What I'm going to do is in another one of these. Whatchamacallit? In one of my Ask Me Anythings, I talk about how to write action lines and how much description. I will put the reference to those two Ask Me Anythings in the description below this video when I have finished streaming. I can't go look up the URLs right now and put them in, but I will. I will give you the answer, Jeremiah, which is at the end of this episode, give me about 10-15 minutes, check the description where it says like the YouTube description of the video, check that, and there will be links to the answers. Okay. It was your tips that made my novel writing go to the next. Yay! I agree too. I love script writing, but there's a different feel. Yes. Novel writing a fiction, it's honestly in some ways much more demanding, but also much more satisfying. I think those action lines are tricky indeed. As you are watching, I am doing it right here, and that's the other thing is if you watch me do it, hopefully you'll pick up some tricks about my personal take on writing action lines. Is when you're first writing them down, throw it all, describe everything like I did. She's putting down her silverware. Later, see what you can strip out. Try to focus on the emotions, on the actions people are taking, on the way that they are thinking or speaking or whatever, things like that. Things that are playable, that an actor can do or that's informing how the actor feels. Any other physical description, use very, very sparingly. But then, I mean, you're in mourning. No, I'm not in shock, maybe, but George was over a long time ago. It was hard then, back then. It was hard back then. We were intense. It was good. We were good. It was intense. It was everything I ever wanted. So why did you? Did you? Okay. Character depth and information is something I've taken from both novel and script writing. Yes, I think a love for knowledge and creation helps a lot. That is absolutely true. Character depth, interestingly, the expression of the depth of a character is different in a script than in a novel because you just have so much more room in a novel. You can get inside people's feelings and experiences and thoughts. But I believe that characters are equally deep in either of the forms. It's just a question of working within what you've got to work with. And I think a love for knowledge and creation helps a lot. Yeah, there's no question. One of the main things that makes artists functional is that they just have they're doing it because they actually love it, that they are actually interested in it, they're curious, they want to try and understand and explore the thing they are doing. That is absolutely true. And you need to pursue that as an artist just because you like it, because you want to, because if nobody else in the world is going to ever listen to you, you still want to do this thing. Yeah, indeed. Labor Day has become the beginning of fall, which has become the beginning of Halloween, which is just nuts. Great. Okay. Cool. All right. With everything I ever wanted, because I was 19 years old, and everything I wanted was crazy. And if I stayed with him, I was going to die. I was going to die. Drugs? I mean, yeah, but no. George was the drug. He was just fearless. He was just fearless, musically, emotionally, all in, all or nothing. He would jump off the stage. He would jump off the roof. He would jump into a... I don't need into it much. Jump off the roof. Jump off the stage, he would jump off the roof. It was like he was missing a part of his brain, which was incredibly appealing until you had to take him to the emergency room. Okay, that's a good speech now. That mosh pit thing was slowing us down. Cool. Wow, this is good. This is good stuff. Okay, one of the things that you need to do when you're writing dialogue is there is an undercurrent under the words. Like this whole speech, this whole scene. Let's look at this scene, okay? It starts. They've clearly been talking about dating, and he is just talking about his dates and he's kind of doing a routine. You know, people when they are dating, they have a persona they are trying to put forth, and he is doing that. It's honest, but it's also a persona. It's the confirmed bachelor, the I've seen it all, I've given up on love, but still let's have fun. And then she's just talking with him about it, and he is honestly trying to say, this was not that this feels different. He said it before. He's now saying, like, he's trying to connect with her and say, honestly, I don't feel like this is those bad relationships, which then gets him to a turn. Okay, the first section of that scene is one move. It's dating. It's a getting to know you date scene. That's what that dialogue is. But then he turns it and he says like, "Are you okay?" Because like we're dating. Your ex-husband was murdered 2 days ago. So, I'm trying to find the word to define this turn, this adjustment. That's what I like, that term, adjustment. The actor is making an adjustment. The character is making an adjustment in the direction they are going. They are adjusting. They are steering. There we go. Are you okay? I mean, you're in mourning. No. So then they talk honestly about her feelings, and her feelings are, honestly, George was a long time ago. And she explains what it was, and his point is, this, you're making his funeral arrangements. In other words, yes, that thing you're telling me a story about your past, but my point is, we in the present are having to deal with that guy in a big way. And that's startling to her. She's getting they're making a genuine connection. That is the point of this scene, that they are making genuine connections. Okay, so that was good. Let me see what's going on. Okay, with the first novel finished, while it's in first rate, my thoughts are, I wrote it because I love creating a story, which if others see it, it's exactly. By the way, almost always, if you create something from your passion and if you keep learning your craft, others will get it. Not everybody, but honestly, everybody doesn't get anything. And most works of art are for small audiences. They genuinely are. So if you're getting any audience to get it, any percentage of people who read your stuff, if they get it, you are doing fine. Oh, great! I'm so glad. Welcome to the world of commenting. All right. Okay, let me see. So the point of this entire diner scene is that they are making a real connection, and that startles her. It shakes her up, and so she has to get out. She has to like, I need to go outside and think. So she does. Okay, this is grammatically icky, so I have to see if I can fix it. Norman follows, respectfully watching her 1,000-yard stare at the town's Miracle Mile. Watching her. The point is, 1,000-yard stare is not a verb. You don't. I mean, you can. This is tricky because you can. Watching her 1,000-yard stare. She's saying she's looking at it but not seeing it. Yeah. Okay. I'll leave it. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to upset you. I'm not upset. You seem upset. She walks away upset. See, because yes, she did. She is upset, but she's not upset about Norman. She's upset about the fact that she's got this bigger problem suddenly, and so she says it. Suddenly turns. I don't want to hunt serial killers. You don't have to. Despite the noise in the traffic. Okay, this is the kind of thing, like, is this describing anything? No, it's describing a mood, because there's many, many possibilities. But the truth is, this is two people standing on the side of a highway in front of a diner, and they're having a private conversation. I feel like my life was an airplane, and I was fine. Didn't even have the seatbelt sign. All of a sudden, boom, the door blows open, and I'm falling. I feel like my life was an airplane. and I was fine. Didn't even have the seatbelt sign on. And then all of a sudden, boom, the door blows off. And I'm falling. The door blows up. Maybe you should just get back in there to your life. It's still there, right? You should just go back, get back in then. It just seems like I won't believe in it anymore. Like if I went back to work, I might just start screaming. So what she's saying is she has been pulled out of her safe ritual life and into this big scary world that she has shut out 20 years ago, 30 years ago. And she doesn't know if she can go back to her blindered routine. What are you going to do? I don't know. You want to hang out somewhere? This is great. So the point is, like, he's like, that's a huge life question. He's smart enough and sensitive enough not to try and fix it. And so he says, what are you going to do? Meaning, what do you want to do? And what she says is, I like talking to you. You are the thing that's making sense to me right now. That's a great scene. Cool. Great. I mean, not great. Is it Shakespeare? I don't know. It doesn't matter. What matters is that sequence is right. That sequence is good, which is good because now we are going to enter one that is terrible. This is a mess. Okay. So this is the end of a sequence. In other words, the date sequence, starting when they wake up in the morning and make love, and then all this time of him and her getting to know each other in these weird circumstances end with them committing to spending more time together, which is out of the, they don't have to. In fact, it's an effort. It's a choice. And that's the point of this scene, that they are making this choice. Okay, so now we're going to start a new sequence, which is, while they have been doing this, Xena is going to the house and breaking in. Okay. The house and let's clear that up. Okay. I don't have to say. Yeah, from the sidewalk with the, okay. So George told me privately that if anything ever happened to him, he left everything we didn't know in the attic. Now, what I'm thinking is, realistically, she would be, in order for her to say, no one's home, I'm going in, she would have to be at the front door ringing the bell. What I'm trying to decide now is, do I do a cut? Everything we'd need to know in the attic. Hidden in the attic. George told me privately that if anything ever happened to him, he left everything we didn't know hidden in the attic. Hidden in the attic. Okay. So is she going to cut, and we'll watch her, do I want to describe this as an unbroken moment where she walks to the front door, walks to the door, rings the bell. see, I think see, I'm trying not to add lines, but well, this is good. So what I apparently already did was decided that time cut news story. Okay, Xena. Okay, no one's home. I'm going in. The screen off an unlocked window screen, you know, the thing that keeps bugs out. Okay, that's not bad. All right. Okay, just okay. I'm trying to see if I can cut words and try and cut lines, really. Selfie casting. To the door. Yeah, well, that's good. That's a little less. No one's home. I'm going in. Okay. It's like a door to a staircase to the end. Wait, yes. Either there's like a door to a staircase. There we go. Or wait, yes. Okay, that's not bad. I'm just trying to cut. Here's the thing. And this is actually interesting. I've got to cut like 4 or 5 pages. Cutting a line here or there is probably not going to do it, which means I have to start thinking, what big cuts can I make? I don't want to cut whole scenes. But I was realizing if I do have to cut a whole scene, the one that I can cut down, like that seems easiest to cut down at least, is Norman in the typewriter repair store. That's like a page or two. And it's probably just a page, but the point is, maybe I don't need any of that. Maybe it's just him at home, you know? I don't know. Something to think about, because a part of me is just like, oh, it doesn't matter. I'm not really going to do this. But if I am trying to teach, one of the things I need to teach is how to make those hard choices of, okay, you really seriously have to cut this down. They're not kidding. They're not going to read a 70-page pilot. So that's just on my mind. All righty. Okay. See, I'm saying new stories. She's like, I think it's all obviously handheld. I can cut that. She's dragged you. Creek. No, that's pretty good. Okay. Trapdoor. Okay. Not bad. Take out the handheld. They're all handheld. Boom. All right. So she's got her phone flashlight. But she's, yeah. Okay. Okay. All right. Do I need crooked angles of the roof? No. Boom. Her phone flashlight. Okay. Do I need time cut new story? I mean, obviously it's a new story. I've had a break there, yeah. Okay, so, yeah. All right. Roves. I'm not even sure that's a verb. but I like it. Okay, so now we have to get the thing marked name. The thing, where did he hide this flash drive? I believe that is the question we are going to end on for today. Tomorrow, back to get more. Whatever it is, say where. I'm going to have to say where, and then she can just zoom in on it and we'll get it. Thing marked something. Okay, cool. All right. Well, that's it for today's work. We got 2 scenes done. We are moving. We are rocking and rolling to get this thing polished and done. So I will see you all tomorrow, back in the regular working week. Until then, for those of you who are in the USA, happy Labor Day, support organized labor, and for the rest of you as well, go write something.